I'm fully prepared with everything I need for the Jay-Z documentary. The moment he sent that legal letter, I knew I had to let the world see who he really is. He and Diddy are cut from the same cloth. He just hides his arrogance and control behind a cleaner image. Our feud has lasted 20 years, and I know better than anyone what he's done in the shadows. I even suspect that so-called funeral bouquet wasn't Diddy's idea at all, but Jay-Z acting on his behalf. Back when Nicki Minaj posted that video of him wearing a pink wig, all I did was repost it, and he got so nervous he had his lawyers threaten me. In 2015, Nicki worked her ass off helping him build his platform, and he allegedly pocketed her $7.9 million in royalties. And then there's his fingerprints all over key incidents through the years, whether it's the elevator footage or the guest list at Diddy's parties. He was involved, clearly, but somehow he always walks away untouched. That's what he's best at, pulling strings behind the scenes while pretending to be spotless in public. And now that a corner of the darkness has been ripped open, I'm not stopping. Everything my team and I are doing isn't about attacking anyone. It's about making sure the truth can't be buried by him ever again.
He ain't answering the phone?
He ain't answering the motherfucking phone.
Yeah, it's like this, like
We had a black billionaire's lunch.
black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
And we here together and we gonna keep staying together. We getting tighter.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Claims are circulating online that Jay-Z is running for his life after 50 Cent allegedly leaked supposed private communications involving him and Diddy. These rumors portray the situation as serious, with some users reviving long-standing allegations about Jay-Z's past connections with Diddy. However, none of these claims have been verified, and they remain part of ongoing online speculation rather than established facts.
Sean Carter aided and abetted or was directly involved. It's about to get real tense, and there's a lot of girls and boys who are still trapped inside the machine.
In interviews, 50 Cent has emphasized that he was never part of Diddy's inner circle, saying that certain invitations and environments made him uneasy early on, which led him to keep his distance. He also explained that when the allegations surfaced, he learned about them through the news like everyone else. Still, he noted that although he wasn't directly involved, the situation didn't come as a complete surprise to him.
Jaguar Wright explained that Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. She explained how Jay-Z has done worse things than what Diddy did to Cassie to other females. And she said that she has the scars to prove it. She alleged that at one time Jay-Z attacked her and got it on film like Diddy did. And she alleged that this is why Jay-Z is totally pulling away from Diddy and you don't see him around. And it's been alleged for quite a while that Jay-Z is pulling away from Diddy because he doesn't want himself caught in the crossfire. I mean, you even have 50 Cent at this point talking about how Jay-Z is in hiding while this whole Diddy thing blows over. And you even have these accusations of Jay-Z being responsible for what happened to Cassie White. So I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of everything that Jag had to say about Jay-Z being worse than Diddy. And you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And they're gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that get them in the end.
As the investigation widened, attention began to drift toward Jay-Z, with some questioning his silence as the situation surrounding Diddy unfolded. That silence fueled speculation, with a few suggesting his team may have known his name appeared in civil cases and were working to shape the narrative early. Others focused more on the potential reputational damage, even in the absence of any formal charges. At the same time, social media intensified the conversation, spreading unverified rumors that he was allegedly trying to silence individuals who made claims against him.
That's actually exactly what Jay-Z's accuser is saying, that even though she dropped the lawsuit, she still stands by what she says, and she only dropped it because of harassment and the fact that she's terrified of Jay-Z. She says that Jay-Z is allegedly bullying her into saying that her accusations were false. In fact, in new legal documents, she is claiming that she was recently approached outside of her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of Jay-Z's lawyers. She claims they tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating that her claims against Jay-Z were false, but she refused. Jane Doe also claims the alleged investigators asked her if her attorney, Tony Busby, sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against Jay-Z, two allegations she says she denied. He says this alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her when her identity had remained anonymous in media reports and legal proceedings. He also claims that her parents were approached by two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and her story. In the new documents, she reveals she decided to drop the claim because she was frightened by the reaction from Jay-Z and his supporters. He says she feared she would be publicly outed and subjected to public attack.
Some industry insiders have suggested that even a single criminal investigation could have far-reaching effects, not just for Diddy, but for those closely connected to him. As a result, some view 50 Cent's documentary as being about more than one individual, instead exploring how power operates behind the scenes, who may have known what, and who could potentially be pulled into the situation next. Commentators have also questioned how Diddy was able to maintain influence and protection for so long, with some pointing to his connections with powerful figures and his ability to shape public narratives as rumors circulated. There have even been unverified reports suggesting he might be cooperating with authorities to ease legal pressure, with online speculation hinting at possible agreements involving information about others, including Jay-Z.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z. Down in Vegas at Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot. Kathy Coriana White, Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died 24 hours after she announced that she was going public with their relationship and the baby. While he was married to Beyonce. Was it an aneurysm, Diddy? Or are you the one who paid the same coroner that you... Oh, Diddy, you should talk.
Now that the documentary has officially been released, it's clear the focus isn't only on the past, but also on what could unfold next. Each new detail is bringing increased attention to those who have remained silent, particularly Jay-Z. This renewed scrutiny is notable given his long-standing association with Diddy. Gene Deal, especially, spoke openly when asked about their relationship, pushing back after Jay-Z's lawyer claimed the two were never truly close. From his perspective, that statement didn't match what he believes actually took place.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is. And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
I ain't know anything about that, man. I ain't know about, Jay touching his, ass. I gotta go see the video. I ain't hear about that.
Come on, man. Everybody's seen that. 50 even pointed it out. Excuse me. When they was in ATL on stage. Remember when 50 bum rushed the stage with them?
Yeah, I think I recall that.
When Puff came on stage, first thing he did was pat Jay-Z on that. But I forgot. That's your favorite rapper.
Hey, him and Pocket's 1A, 1B. But what's your issue with Jay, man? I ain't know you had an issue with him.
I'm never a fan of somebody that I was gonna knock out.
For Gene, that level of familiarity said a lot. He also referenced a moment during a show in Atlanta where Diddy joined Jay-Z on stage, noting how natural and comfortable their interaction appeared to observers. The clip later gained more attention after 50 Cent highlighted it publicly, keeping it in circulation online. When asked if he had a personal issue with Jay-Z, Gene explained that it wasn't about personal feelings. He mentioned an earlier situation where tensions had been high, but said Jay-Z later seemed not to remember it. In Gene's view, that reflects how some people at the top operate, moving through conflicts, creating friction, and then leaving it behind, often without a second thought.
That's how these guys are, man. They'll cause situations and cause problems, and then they'll forget what they done because they on a whole nother atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit that he did, you gotta understand, like now he'll say that they're kids because he's raising kids of his own. You understand? But how would you like it that if Blue Ivory, 15, 16 years old, 17, 18 years old, dating a nigga in his early 30s? You're not gonna go for that. No matter what she came through in Hollywood. But you gotta understand, guys who was around there, we didn't know Jay-Z them ages. We didn't know these cats' age. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't having no beards and nothing like that. They was wearing low cuts. You understand? Clean face. I would have never believed when Jay was coming around the block, scooping up the young girls and stuff like that he was 30 years old. If they 17, 18, 16 years old, and they 22, you thinking they 22, 23, something like that, 24 years old? They mom and them need to check them. They daddy and them need to check them. But that's not that far off. But for somebody to be 30 years old in their 30s, and they dealing with kids 16 years old, 17, 18 years, now that's a problem, that's an issue. And now he see that because he's raising kids. And he got a young daughter. I think he got another daughter that he didn't claim, and now he claiming them. These cats was doing a whole lot of stuff that people in the industry won't speak on. And then now that you're speaking on it and it's becoming where is that you can get on YouTube and you could talk about this shit and say what you seen or say what you heard, you understand, or what you know. Some people look at it being a problem. But these cats ain't street cats. They entertainers.
Dame Dash, Jay-Z's former close associate, also recently addressed the serious accusations surrounding him. What stood out most to Dash wasn't just the claims themselves, but the public reaction to them. He noted that he had never seen Jay-Z face this level of scrutiny before. For decades, Jay-Z appeared largely untouchable in mainstream media, but this time, that sense of protection no longer seemed to hold.
It's just odd to see him in that, in that, getting looked at in that way by white people. Like Jay does, yeah. Like I hope that shit didn't happen, but I'm like, damn, they turned the world real. Like people on a certain level have been fucking with him a certain way where he couldn't do no wrong for like 25 years straight. This is the first time he's not getting a pass with white media. Like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him. But like, drink champs can't get him out of this one, and neither can Charlemagne, because those are the guys that hold him down no matter what he does anyway. So he got to get to People Magazine and Entertainment Tonight right now, because they on his head. But the question is why? Like why now? Because for me, I'd be like, yo, that's so ridiculous. Yo, take that to trial. You're not going to win. Let's get a deposition or something. So I don't know why they on his head so much. Pause. But I never seen him, under this, I never seen him in this position to have to explain himself. Pause.
How you feel about the statement he came out with?
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything. I heard a piece of, like I said, for me, I'm doing an interview, so I talk. I thought it was long. For a statement, I thought it was long, pause. But, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him if he is innocent. He needs to let people ask him questions, and he needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk.
Dame also took issue with the effort to fully distance Jay-Z from Diddy, arguing that portraying them as never having been friends was an overly extreme characterization that could end up triggering backlash.
Like I don't think I would have said that he didn't know Puff at all or wasn't his friend. I thought that was a little extreme. I thought that was the wrong choice of words. I think that's going to trigger a lot of backlash. But the thing is, I never seen him get backlash at all. So that's what I'm saying. Now he getting backlash. Like, when did you know Jay-Z to be on his heels other than when he got beat up in the elevator? But that was nothing. But I've never seen him under the fire ever. Not in a long time. Not like, I've never seen people on his head like that, Paul. Ever.
Yeah, this might be my first time seeing people come at him like this.
Like I said, I didn't hear him say anything. Like, I'm not some white man speaking for another black man doesn't add up. It just doesn't work like that. Like, he doesn't know what to say on Jay's behalf. Jay would have to say that. So if he instructed him to say that, like, you don't even know if Jay told him to say that. He could have got off the stage and they was like, why'd you say that? He was like, I had to. Like, he probably said it because homeboy wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Like, I didn't hear him say anything. I haven't heard Jay say a word yet. Have you?
Nah, I haven't heard him say anything.
There it is. So y'all going by a piece of paper with words, don't get caught up in that. I have not heard him say one thing yet. Until I see him speak, he hasn't spoke to me. That's why I said I don't think he did not say that. His lawyer said it. So what else is a lawyer gonna say? You know what I'm saying?
What surprised Dame most is that this is the first time he can recall Jay's being placed in a consistently defensive position, aside from a few isolated moments in the past. Jay's has rarely needed to publicly explain himself, but now, according to Dame, the pressure feels ongoing and hard to avoid. This has also led to questions about why 50 Cent seems so focused on drawing attention to him. Some believe the history involving Diddy doesn't fully explain it. According to Tony Yayo, the tension between 50 and Jay-Z goes back years, rooted in competition, loyalty, and long-standing hip-hop rivalries. He noted that hip-hop has always been competitive, where egos clash and conflicts arise, but also a space where people can grow and move forward. As an example, he pointed to a recent moment when 50 performed with Dr. Dre and Cameron unexpectedly joined him on stage despite past issues. Cameron has also suggested that Jay's tends to prioritize business over culture, a view Yayo echoed, saying Jay's often appears at major corporate events but not always at hip-hop moments that artists like 50 consider significant.
And there was this one part where 50 was talking, and he was saying, yeah, when Yayo was locked up, every G-Unit show, we actually put aside the money.
Bro, I told
for him,
you.
And he had like Yayo had like $1 million.
Right. I just told you when I came out of my building, I see the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
There was no way I was getting shot there. And this is what I kind of tell you is like, when we was talking about stacks with the Porsche, 50's not going to let you say, get the Porsche. He going to say, let's get him out the hood first. You know, if the money's there, but the money has to be there for you to live like that. The money's there. 50 didn't have to do that. Rest in peace to Hervé from Interscope, because he always said to me, man, 50 do more for you than any artist, than anybody does for their artists. More than Jay-Z. Young Guns is right there.
Yayo pointed to what he sees as a key difference between Jay-Z and 50 Cent, approachability. He explained that while Jay-Z operates at an extremely high level, he can come across as distant, whereas 50, despite having comparable influence, tends to remain more present and connected with people. He added that artists should never lose sight of those who supported them early in their careers. Yayo also recalled a moment that stood out to him, claiming that Jay-Z was not in favor of including 50 Cent in the Super Bowl halftime show, and that Eminem reportedly stepped in, insisting he would only perform if 50 was part of it. To Yayo, that situation felt personal and pointed to deeper underlying tensions.
Well, speaking of Cameron,
yeah,
he made a statement recently. He said that Jay-Z loves money more than hip-hop. And he pointed out that Jay-Z performed at Tom Brady's Hall of Fame ceremony, but he didn't perform in any Hip-Hop 50 events.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy shit going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you
Bowl?
Know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hater shit. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the.
I mean, you know, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what, 9? What? Was
yeah,
that
but
9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember
yeah,
the whole,
of course, but 50
thing?
Was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after niggas. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came. And people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro. Yeah. Nobody has had the effect.
Record executives also allegedly told Yayo that 50 Cent has done more for his own circle and the artists he has worked with than many major industry figures have done for their own signees.
Because he says to people, he goes into boardrooms and says to people, which I will never say, is he says, it's important for me to be a billionaire, you know, because Black people need to be billionaires. And why does specifically he, at that time, I've had this conversation with white money people when they go, you know, it's important that Jay-Z becomes a billionaire. And I go, why? And they said, because he wants to open up a casino. You know, he wants to open up this, he should have an alcoholic brand. He needs to have a casino. He needs to have this. And you're like, why the fuck does anybody need a casino? Like another fucking casino
money
in this world.
And it makes it very possible for people to launder money all day.
Yeah. So like, why, even the fact that you want to become so powerful, then you're not saying because he needs to build schools for black people in black neighborhoods. It's because he wanted to build casinos for black people.
For them to keep wasting their money, and then for him to keep getting them overpriced merchandise. It's a rat trap.
Yeah.
All of it is. The sad part is that hip hop has now turned itself over to this greed machine and doesn't realize it's time to unplug.
Over time, reports suggest that the relationship between Jay-Z and Diddy began to strain. Some individuals close to the situation claim that trust issues grew, along with concerns about who might act in self-preservation if circumstances changed. Jaguar Wright has also alleged that Jay-Z may have had a behind-the-scenes role in Diddy's downfall, though these claims remain unverified and are part of ongoing public speculation.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
Roger Bonds, who previously served as Diddy's head of security, also offered his perspective on their relationship from an insider's point of view. He said he did observe interactions between Jay-Z and Diddy, but did not view them as especially close. He further suggested that, based on his experience, Diddy may have perceived the relationship as closer than it actually was.
I believe Puff felt they was close.
Oh.
But if you was a person on the outside looking in, like me and Uncle Paulie used to always talk about it, me and D-Rock was talking about, yo, why Puff kind of like sucking Jay off so much? You know what I'm saying? Because you'd be like, we done flew to 5 or 6, 7 different concerts that Jay-Z has. But Jay-Z is not at one of Puff's shows. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Rock brunch where Puff will break his neck to get to the brunch. But Jay-Z don't pop up at any of Puff parties. You know, now I can only speak up until 2012. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was breaking his neck. Like, at the end of the day, in our mind, we say, yo, he ain't even invite Puff to his wedding. When he married Beyonce, Steve Stout and all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was kind of in his feelings, but once again.
Oh, Puff was upset he didn't get invited to the wedding?
Of course he was. Oh. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, we're security, so we're bottom on a totem pole. So he's not going to show you that it really affects him until you have a little conversation with him, or you say something, or you overhear something. But he didn't get invited to that, you know. Yeah, Jay came through every once in a while. Like if we was in a yacht in San Tropez or one of these places like that, Jay might ride up, you know what I'm saying? And it's more or less to show, yeah, I got a yacht too.
Members of Diddy's team have reportedly felt that Diddy was more consistently present for Jay-Z than Jay-Z's was for him in return.
To me that all the time. I mean, Jay ain't really with Puff. It was no personal into it. It would be like if Ron Burgos is flying from LA on his jet, but Jay-Z just so happens to be going to New York too. We all end up on the jet flying back, those type of things, but nothing to go out his way and say, if we in a club, you might be downtown at bed or something like that, Jay-Z might be there, so they end up at the same table, you know what I'm saying? And it was times where I listen to the records now where Jay-Z said, yo, why should I drink Ciroc when why should I drink Grey Goose when Puff got Ciroc? This is something new that just started happening because I remember we almost got into a big altercation with Pecos and them because...
Sean Pecos?
Yeah, because Puff was there and Jay and them was there and they had a bunch of Grey Goose bottles come to the table. And Puff felt like, yo, that was disrespectful. And he knocked over the Grey Goose bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I think I heard about
fuck
this.
y'all niggas doing that for, yo, da-da-da-da-da-da. But Jay didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and Pecos came back to the house and explained himself, da-da-da-da-da. You know, I was eavesdropping and airdropping, you know, because like I said, Puff is always ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Emery had just came home and this, that, and the other like that, and they ordered Grey Goose bottles. Now, why you got 10 Grey Goose bottles coming to the table if you know I'm right here at the table and I got Ciroc? So there's a lot of different things that don't add up.
From his perspective, Jay-Z and Diddy were never as close as many people assumed. He suggested that while they may have shared business ties, influence, and access, it didn't necessarily translate into genuine loyalty. Over time, he believed those underlying gaps in the relationship became more noticeable. This has led some to question the true depth of their connection and whether those long-standing differences could eventually grow further and affect both of them in the long run.